called Memrise, which is MEMRISE, and it's free at a certain level, and it's very good in terms of helping you with your pronunciation and kind of vocabulary building. And yeah, it's something I'm trying to build into my routine when I'm not working / writing an essay / doing childcare / painting something. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Does it have a section of the app that helps me memorise names for Rugby League?
That hasn't been developed yet, but yeah. But you know the solution to that. Maybe lay off the beers while you're recording, mate.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Did anyone play the R League quiz last night?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Although I think it was a really good idea. I like the fact that they used people who were in lockdown together. That was a really good idea.
Yeah, it was. I'd say it was slightly more accessible than our quiz. But if me and Emma were invited along as well as rugby league personalities, obviously, then we'd have smashed it out of the park compared to the two teams on display. But I must admit, for the quiz questions they asked for the people at home to do, I did have to. The one that wasn't sport related, I did have to Google that one and cheat. But I didn't win the Sign Great Britain shirt anyway, so there you go.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Excellent stuff, guys. Right, Alan, have you still got your rundown open in front of you?
Of course. Do you know?
Then do you want to tell people
Sarah
about where they can find and interact with the show? Because we need people next week to tell us all about their favourite centres, and this is how you do it. And I don't mean shopping centres for you, or centres of excellence, or centres in netball.
So you can find the show at Super League Pod on Twitter and Instagram. We are at facebook.com/superleaguepod. If you want to send us an email, just to check, did we get any mentions about affairs this week?
Oh God, no! So disappointed. Nothing. No one told us about how their affairs going. There is a couple who started meeting on the park though at around about sort of early evening-ish time, and we can't work out if they're having an affair or they're starting to date, because they are respecting social distancing. One's sitting at one side, one corner of the park bench, and one's sitting at one side, the other corner of the park bench. The guy seems more into it than the girl at the moment, but she's come back twice, so she's come back for extra dates, so she must be a little bit interested at least. So yeah.
You need to time your next run, Mark Round, so you can listen into them. And tell us, obviously.
Yeah, so if you just started in the Kirkham area and you want to get in touch, it is superleaguepod@gmail.com. You can find episode blog posts and all that kind of stuff at superleaguepod.com. You can search for the show on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, and anywhere else you find your audio mediums. And we're also on the YouTubes.
Oh, I should put that video that I did up on YouTube. I did a video of all the shirts that I wore.
Make it so.
It was only like 20 seconds or something. I'll put it up on YouTube. So then we've got some new content there for our avid subscribers. Our partners that we want to give a shout out to, of course, as well. Rob's Toy Shop, our episode sponsor there. If you enter SLP discount on checkout at Rob's Toy Shop on eBay, you get 5% cash back on orders over £5, plus give 1% cash back to SLP. Little Warden, who provide vital alerts for hidden issues. Head to littlewarden.com to see what they can do for you if you've got a website that you need to make run smoother. And with business being even more directed towards the online these days, that is vital for you, so do go and check out what Little Warden might be able to do to help your company there. Mascot Browns, for all your international rugby league gear, use our link shown on the episode blog post and we get 8% of your order value to help our running costs. If you follow Phil, who's the Browns part of Mascot Browns, on Twitter, then each day he's tending to wear another piece of international rugby league gear himself. I think he's just dipping into his own stocks there rather than selling them to anyone. So you might get a pre-worn by Phil shirt if you're lucky. And Sarah's bookcase. Sarah sells Usborne books with access to over 3,000 titles from baby to teenager. There's something for everyone. Find out more on Facebook. Also, there's a Twitter page. It's at Bookcase Sarah on Twitter, and it's Sarah's Bookcase on Facebook. Of course, Josh, as we shouted out at the top of the show, has made a nice order from Sarah this week, so thanks to Josh for that. I know Sarah wanted to thank Josh, and also anyone else. If you're looking for extra stuff to entertain the kids, there's certainly a lot of different books there in that range that Sarah would be able to provide. And if you live in the Hull area, you might get them hand delivered by Sarah on a bicycle, which is even more exciting. So yeah, do look out for Sarah's Bookcase, guys, and support all of our partners. That's it for episode 259 of the Super League pod. John, thanks for being part of your first ever SLP. It's been great to have you along.
Yeah, thanks very much. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for asking me.
Good stuff. The only worry is when we get people like you on, it's one less listen we're going to get, but you've got to go back and listen to the Barrie Mac bit, so you'll still listen to the show, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And Alan, as always, thanks you. I hope we've given you some inspiration for your essay. I'm sure town planning and stuff has totally been covered, hasn't it?
You've told me nothing about 19th century planners. It's absolutely useless.
It's all right. We did a quiz with some of our friends the other day, and they are taking it in turns as couples to set the quizzes, as it were. And one of the questions, the couple that set the quiz, who's Jane actually, who made a donation we shouted out before, set the question: who was the architect on Lytham Hall? Now, Lytham Hall's a stately home that's based approximately, as the crow flies, 300-400 yards away from where Emma's parents live. And she's just come in to say don't tell them this story, but but yeah, she didn't know it.
Wow.
She didn't know it. She guessed the guy's first name right, but guess what his first name was?
Is it John?
John.
Oh dear, that's embarrassing. Oh dear.
But yeah, there you go.
Imagine forgetting names.
That's it. That's what we bonded over, John. Good stuff. Maybe both of us in this house need to cut back on the heels when we're doing quizzes and shit. Excellent stuff, guys. Right, thanks to you guys for playing along. It's been a lot of fun, and thanks to everyone for listening. Like I say, we plan on being back next week with talking about centres. If you want to join the regular hosts on the show next week, then we do have an opening for that next week, and we're also going to get a little bit from one of the local rugby league sides to me, Blackpool Stanley. That'll be part of next week's show, so do look forward to that. But thanks to all for listening to this week's episode of the Super League pod. See you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.